Hey, what's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is Wednesday morning. It's 4:42 in the a.m. It's February 26th. Um, I'm just sitting here reminiscing as we near the end of Black History Month, and I shared that I was in charge of the educational piece of, our Black History celebration at work. I take the role of my ancestors, the struggles of my ancestors, you know, the personal positioning in my family, uh, the role of educator very seriously because I know, the sacrifices that were made for me to be able to sit behind a desk. I know the sacrifices that were made in order for me to attend college. I know what was instilled in me by my immediate family, and the progression throughout my family. That message of education, that message of, you're going to have to work hard, but it's going to pay off. Yeah, I know the talk, the rules for living and survival as a black person in this country. And most of us have forgotten until something happens the importance of having that talk. We moved away from that, and we need to get back to acknowledging those people who built bridges in order for us to cross. Yeah. As we were preparing and setting up for this functioning yesterday, somebody was playing music in the background, and I was shouting out the different types of music. I was like, hey, play some New Orleans second line. They're like, what artist? First of all, hey, baby, jazz was created by our people. Need to acknowledge the origins of jazz. Now, was given the name jazz. There's some debate. It's like it came from a derogatory term, but we made it into something. So I said, okay, to kind of keep with this person who was a little bit younger, I said, play some New Orleans bounce music, and I told them the artist Big Frida. The response I got was, hey, this is twerking music. Whatever it is, it's our music. Okay, you don't like that? Play some African music. Play Ladysmith Black Mambazo. Oh, no, we ain't playing that. Okay, that's African music. That's your roots. So we nixed that. I said, okay, play the song "Stand" from the movie Harriet, sung by Cynthia Erivo. Oh, I like this. Has a message. Okay. I was like, play Sarah Vaughan. No, we're not listening to this. So, we went to R&B. Now, I'm all for R&B, but we're celebrating as well as educating. Open yourself up beyond. I, again, was in charge of the education piece. I did that. And I created a quiz, and the quiz was about African American firsts. Who was the first? Such and such. And I did fields where, black people weren't even considered. Okay, so we went there. Then some days back, there was some discussion about the food. And someone said fried chicken. You see the look on my face? I was adamant against fried chicken. And whenever somebody asked me about the menu, I would not answer. I said, we're not having this conversation or I'm going to get upset. I wasn't over that piece, but I let my voice be known. And said, well, why not fried chicken? I don't want to reinforce stereotypes. Hey, how about we look at maybe some traditionally African food? I know everybody can't whip up African food. And, nobody was willing to drive or put in an order because they waited till the last minute. Okay, I'm okay with that. Just don't do fried chicken. What was the menu? There you have it. And I put together a presentation. Now, people were all in for the quiz and guessing. Cool. No problem with that. But for the presentation piece, the piece where the education comes from, I started before the food got delivered. So some people picked up on some of the information. The very first video I put together was Dr. Joy Adegayi talking about her experience with the Statue of Liberty. And people were pretty shocked. But when we got to the pieces about racism, people started eating, people started talking, and I just shut it down because for me it was just a waste of time. People talk about it, but they can't muster the energy to be about it. And for me it's a sad statement when you can't honor your ancestors and give it the proper amount of respect or time. And people wonder why the advances that, my grandparents fought for have been rescinded. It's like, because you can't be invested enough to perpetuate. And I'm going to stand flat-footed on that. You can't be invested enough to, look at all who have gone before you. Look at all the things that transpired to make your parents, and giving you a little progress and a little ease. Those things are being taken away. And here's my statement. The band plays on because, again, nobody can be invested enough to really, stress the significance of this. And for the folks who can't be bothered, I want to say many of you watch the news to even be able to say, they say, those quotes where there's no real source. They say, you have the almighty and all-knowing they, and you pick that up from TV and your little sound bites. So here's the reality of the they say. Your news has been systematically whitewashed, just like your textbooks. That's why it's important to be connected. You know that MSNBC has fired almost every person of color that they've had representing truth and journalism. The very first money move was firing Tiffany Cross because she was way too black for folks. And I'm not talking about flesh tone. I'm talking about keeping it real about what's transpiring as far as racist movements, as far as bigoted movements. You know, the culmination of the whitewashing of the news was when they fired Joy Reid. It lets you know that America is not prepared to handle a dissenting opinion from a person of color. And in the words of my grandmother, in the words of my mama, in the words of, I want to say, Mookie and them in the hood. I don't know Mookie, by the way, but I do have folks with some serious nicknames. But as far as that's concerned, here's the quote. You know, we're using standing on business, but my mama and grandmother, I can show you better than I can tell you, because I'm tired of telling you. And I want you to just ask Target how we move. And come February 28th, I want you to really look at the economy and how we move. See, you don't want to listen when we tell you. So here we are at, I can show you better than I can tell you. That part.